Hey everyone, it's Johnny, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back to my channel. Here is part 2 of our fragrance feedback, and this one will be the vendor wax that I have gotten through in the past several weeks or so. So I have been trying to get through some of this just because I obviously enjoy my Scentsy, and I also enjoy a lot of the retail waxes, and I kind of haven't given vendor wax as much love as I would like. So this is my attempt to get through at least a chunk of them. So let's dive right in. Overall, I will say that of the ones that I've warmed this time around, kind of a mixed bag. I don't think I was like thoroughly like wowed by a whole lot of these. And you know, I find that vendor wax can be really good or it can be like eh. And for this particular round, I felt like a lot of it was like, yeah, it's all right. There were a couple standouts, I will say that, so stay tuned and we will talk about them. All right, so first things first, from A to Z Candles. They are a soy wax melt-based company. I had a bag of wild honeysuckle that I was going through, and I love honeysuckle scents. I love fresh honeysuckle scents. They remind me of my grandmother's backyard. She had like these big bushes. Great, beautiful, aromatic sort of scent. This is not fresh honeysuckle. This is a perfumey honeysuckle. This is like something you'd have in a fragrance mist or something like that. This is not authentically out in the forest, or into the backyard for that matter. It did not feel fresh to me. It just had kind of a mature sort of perfumey vibe, a little bit musty. And yes, it was honeysuckle, but it wasn't fresh honeysuckle outside. So I've warmed many a honeysuckle scent at this point, and this is probably one of the womp womp sort of ones for me. But it is a perfumey, sort of musty honeysuckle scent. So if you were looking for something like that, this definitely might fit the bill. But not a fresh one. Next, I got through Teddy Bees Wax Company. I believe this is a beeswax-based wax company. This is crushed candy cane circus cookies and sweetheart cookies. So this is like all the cookies and then some. And it is literally a smorgasbord of cookie scents, all put together, and then a little bit of mint. It is a bit sweet. I think the cookie notes in here, you have like frosted sugar cookies, shortbread, birthday cake, sweet milk, and then like the accoutrements. It's a vanilla milk and cookies sort of scent. The cake and the shortbread note give it a little bit more of a dryness rather than a cloying sweetness. But it's not a dry sort of scent, like a dry bread sort of scent. I do like the hint of the crushed candy cane in there. I think the vanilla adds a creaminess. Would I get this again, though? Probably not. I don't mind vanilla scents. I usually like vanilla scents, but I don't necessarily like bakery scents specifically. And this one was just a little bit too much bakery gourmand for my tastes, personally. It was like cookies on cookies on cookies on sweet. And I was like, all right, maybe that's enough. But I will say it performed quite well. And it did last a long time. So to Teddy Bees Wax Company credit, maybe this is not the scent that is my like ride or die from them. But the performance of the wax was great. So very pleased with that. All right, let's move on to Nanamixsense Com. Now I have 4 in here. We're going to go through these one by one. Just general note before we get through them. Great scents. Performance was questionable. So Clean Cut is the first one I have here. This is Barbershop, Stainless Steel, and Blue Sugar. It's a clean, fresh, hint of sweet. Blue Sugar is not like super sweet, like a pink sugar sort of note. I don't know really the difference. Like, colors, I don't know. But you do get like that stainless steel, that clean, sleek, slightly masculine tone. You get Barbershop, which is like a fresh scent. It's nice. It's nothing outstanding. This performed pretty well. It was about a medium's throw. You definitely knew it was there. It worked better in a small space, I will say that much. But there wasn't anything standout about it. It was almost just kind of like left the room smelling kind of clean and a little bit fresh and, you know, I don't know, modern. But I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to get it again. It was a nice scent for what it was, but it didn't blow my mind or anything like that. And it wasn't bad. So to the credit, it was a nice combination. Next we have Pyramids of Giza. This is Egyptian cotton sheets, Marshmallow Fireside, and flannel. This scent smells divine when you smell the cold bar or when you shove your nose into the wax dish when it's warming. I could not smell this for the life of me. There was like zero scent throw. It was like if I was not on top of the warmer, like huffing the wax, I could not smell this for the life of me over any other nondescript smell in the room. Which is really disappointing because this had the potential to be phenomenal, and Marshmallow Fireside is not usually a scent throw that is weak by any means. Like, I've tried several other like Mallow Fireside combos, never had an issue. So this is very surprising that this was such a abysmal performer. So, you know, unfortunate, but great scent combo, just couldn't smell it. All right, Deserted Island. This is Baja Cactus Blossom, Gardenia, and Palo Santo. Well, you know how I feel about gardenias. Baja Cactus Blossom. I realize that I appreciate Cactus Blossom or cactus-based scents for the fresh, kind of zingy, almost citrusy note that they give, but it's not like one of my favorite scents. Palo Santo, love. Ziggy Stop. Apparently I activated my smart device because he's not very smart sometimes. All right. Gardenia, not a big fan of. Palo Santo, love. This blend didn't really get a whole lot of Palo Santo. You got a lot more of like the Cactus Blossom Gardenia. And it was nice. Kind of a fresh sort of scent overall. Not something I would go out of my way to find again. Kind of, in my opinion, a little bit forgettable. All right, and lastly, Mahogany, Cheekwood, Marshmallow, Fireside. Again, all of these notes are like divine to me. Love Mahogany, Cheekwood, love Cheekwood on its own, love marshmallows generally, love Marshmallow, Fireside. You know, this is like the scent that if it had performed would have been like bomb.com, except that I couldn't smell it. If I got like slight whiffs of it, I should say it that way, but it was not a powerhouse performer by any means. It was very soft. And again, for woody Marshmallow Fireside scents, I'm very surprised that this performed so poorly. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if this was just like this particular batch was not as strong as the normal ones, but overall I would say the scent notes and the combinations smell divine, but the performance is iffy at best for me. And again, you may have had, if you've tried this brand, you may have had better results, but I was just like, put more fragrance oil or something in there. Please, do something, because you have great combinations of scents, but in any of the warmers I tried, whether it was Element or Edison or 25 watt or whatever, they were not throwing for me. So, and I have a combination of warmers, of different types of warmers in every space, so that I can try, okay, well, if it's not working in this one, let's try it in this one. Nothing. So, disappointing to say the least, but I will say that the scent profiles were very nice and thought out. All right, from Sparkles Wax Melts, I had this little cup of mahogany coconut, and I will say, while this scent did not smell as ideal as I would have preferred once it was warming, there was kind of like a musty quality to this. Yeah, more than I really wanted. Like, the kind of more musk than like wood and coconut. So that was a little bit disappointing, but in terms of throw, this is a monster. Like, it threw all day, no problem, didn't futz out by the end of the day. Like, Sparkles Wax, you definitely got some good throw and balance with your blends and everything else. I was impressed. Just maybe there's a couple notes in here that just weren't quite as ideal once it was warmed. Like, I wanted like mahogany and coconut, and I got mahogany and coconut with musk in the middle. And it was just a little bit not what I was looking for. But great throw. Good job. All right. Like I'm the connoisseur of wax. Not. All right, next we're going to L3 Waxy Wonders. I have Moody with a Booty. This was a very forgettable sort of fruity scent. I feel like there's maybe bananas in here too, but it was like a kind of tropical fruity scent. I don't remember it, and there's no scent notes, and that's all I gotta say about it. Moving on, today is like October 3rd, Mean Girls reference, I've realized. Palo Santo Sugar Cookie Royal Toasted Mallow. Performed really well. Not sure how I felt about this combo. I think the toasted mallow gives a little bit of a caramel note. The sugar cookie gives that, you know, like baked, like not quite toast note, but like the bread to flour note. And then you have the Palo Santo. This was an okay combination. I liked it, but I wouldn't go out of my way to get it again. You know, again, it's one of those things where sometimes it's like the scent combo sounds great, but then it just, on execution, either the blend or the ratio just doesn't quite jive with me or whatever. And I have to be careful with a lot of my toasted marshmallow scents, because toasted can sometimes mean caramelized rather than actually like a smoky note, and that can generally give me like vibes if it's too caramel. But it did throw, so I will say performed pretty well. Mallow Fireside. So we just talked about all these Mallow Firesides. Like, everything has Mallow and Fireside in it. This performed fantastically. This was exactly what I wanted it to be. It was long lasting, great throw. It had no trouble smelling that there was marshmallow. Had no trouble smelling the Fireside note. Great scent, simple, and sometimes I guess it goes to show you simple is better with scents. Sometimes the more you throw into a scent, the harder it is for that scent to like gestate or like become what it's supposed to be. It just becomes like a hodgepodge of scent, whereas sometimes we just, simpler is better. And this is a perfect example of simpler was better and performed amazingly, and like it was going long after a day. And a lot of times with vendor waxes, I find that they don't seem to have the staying power that some of like the retail or even Scentsy waxes do, but this one did it. All right, unfortunately Aspen Winter was not quite as long-lived. This one was, first off, I don't know where they got the winter component to this, because it smelled like aspirin springtime. It's very like limey. It almost gives me like coconut lime vibes, minus the coconut. But it's like that zesty, almost bergamot. I didn't really get much of like the winter component to this. Maybe they were going for like fresh winter air. But even then, it's not really icy. So this was kind of like springtime in Aspen. And it lasted about 2 hours, and then it was like, where did the scent go? Like, it was there and very strong and very present for 2 hours, and then it was gone. There's no trace of it, not even like a hint. So that was very bizarre. So it does perform well, but it's kind of like the pistachio ice cream of Scentsy, where it's super strong when it's there, and then the second it's like, I'm done, it's gone. There's no sign of it. That's what this one is. Coconut Lime Breeze Nord Mountain Dew. I don't like Mountain Dew scents. I have learned in this journey through some of these vendors that I'm just not a Mountain Dew scent note person. Like, there's something about it that just doesn't jive with me. I don't know if it's like the sweetness of the Mountain Dew. It's not the limey note, because I generally like lime sort of scents depending on how it's used. It just screams Mountain Dew. And Coconut Lime Breeze with Mountain Dew, it was a good combination in terms of mixing Mountain Dew with something that's already zesty and limey. But I'm very particular on my Coconut Lime Breezes, so This to me was just another iteration of that. Mind you, maybe one of my more preferred ones than some of the ones that I've warmed from retail vendors. But, you know, like, just not a vibe for me. But you do get the Mountain Dew note, you do get coconut, you did get lime. And the breeze, you get like an ozonic sort of quality to this. This one did perform really well. I almost wish this one was the one that futzed out after a few hours though, because it was not my favorite. And then finally, from L3 Waxy Wonders, we have White Elephant Exchange. This was powdered donuts, vanilla wafers, white cake, and vanilla frosting. So again, this one, this is basically like vanilla baking. Like you're baking a vanilla whatever, cake, wafer, cupcake, something in your kitchen, and this is the smell while it's baking. This is a great scent. This is a great scent if you like vanilla. It's not overwhelming, like, oh, I'm choking on vanilla, but it's definitely vanilla. And it's, you get like that break from the vanilla, from like the powdered sugar, the sort of donut dough vibe, the wafer, the cake vibe. Those combinations together really worked for this scent. I actually preferred this over Today is October 3rd. Even though they have some similar sort of qualities to them in their vanilla-ness. Good performer. Would I go out of my way to get it again? Probably not. Again, I have to be in a kind of a mood for baking sort of scents or bakery scents, or vanilla that's beyond like a perfumey vanilla. So, good scent, combo, just don't need it all the time. So, in conclusion, L3 Waxy Wonders has a lot of great scents, and they do throw, but the performance is very inconsistent in terms of like, some last very long, some disappear out of thin air, you know, some, they don't really morph from what you smell on cold, which is nice, so I'm very impressed with that. But just, I'm not sure you'll get, you know, the throw that you want for as long as you want. So, other than that, pretty good vendor wax to try. All right, and last one we have, we'll kind of go through these a little quicker because a lot of these were smaller, is Closet Full of Wax. And again, this vendor, a lot of interesting scents. Some of them are like, oh, that's really unique, but I don't necessarily know that I need it in my life all the time. So let's go through this. Magical Autumn Apple Tree. This is leaves, French vanilla, oak, red delicious apples, Granny Smith apples. So it's basically apples and leaves. This is a great fall scent. You get like the kind of mustiness from the leaves mixed with oak, and then like a little bit of creaminess from the vanilla. But it's not super vanilla heavy. And then you get a couple types of apples. So it's a nice fall scent. Is it standout and amazing and miraculous compared to the myriad of other fall scents out there? Not really. But it's a nice scent. Like, I enjoy it. Oh yes, Schitt's Motel. So inspired on Schitt's Creek, the TV series, I believe. Lavender, Cotton Blossom, Peppermint, and Pink Amber Vanilla. This one I like, and this performed really well. And it just kept performing. Now, the lavender note was a little off-throwing at first, because you get like lavender within the cotton blossom, and it gives you like that, oh, it's kind of cozy vibes, but then you get the peppermint and then the pink amber vanilla. So it's an interesting scent. It's kind of that cozy meets slight sweetness and slight perfuminess, but it works. This combination works. I like it. I don't necessarily love it, but this was one of the ones that I did prefer from this brand. So, moving on, Witching Hour. This is Witch's Brew, Elderberry, and Smoked Vanilla. Not Smoked Villains. This one is great. I would get more of this. This is a very, I don't think I've smelled anything quite like this. You do get that sort of Witch's Brew, potion vibe, slight sweetness there. The elderberry really works in this situation, and then you get a hint of the smokiness. I wouldn't say this is a vanilla scent, but you do get like a hint of the smokiness from it that gives it a creamy sort of richness that otherwise it would have just been like a fruity scent. I think they really hit the mark with this one. I really enjoyed it, and I would buy more of this, especially for the Halloween season. It really speaks to this time of year. For other times of the year, I don't know that I would warm it necessarily, but it really, really works there. All right. Oh, just kidding. There's another Nanamixsense that I apparently missed. So let's really quick backtrack way back. Spring Fling. This is Carnations, Pink Sugar, Boardwalk, Marshmallow, Clouds. This one actually performed well. I wasn't wild about the scent overall because it has like a powdery note to it or like a soapy note to it that I can't quite shake, but beyond that, it performed well. Like, I don't know if it was the carnations that kind of like threw it off a little bit for me, but other than that, this scent was a pretty solid choice. And this one actually did perform quite well compared to some of the other ones, which had no noticeable scent throw. So there we go on that one. All right, back to Closet Full of Wax. We have Dorothy. I have been warming the Golden Girls. Sugared lemons, Danish butter cookies, and blackberry jam. This is a deep, not sweet jam, berry sort of scent. It's very rich. It kind of gives me like a less indulgent breakfast in bed from Scentsy. Instead of like a pumpkin pastry, you've got the Danish butter cookie sort of thing going on. So it's like butter cookies and blackberry jam. And it works. It's great. I really enjoy it. And then the lemon note kind of lightens the blackberry jam, which is otherwise a little bit tart and not sweet. So it's a good balanced fragrance. I would get this again. I don't know that I would get it in like quantity, but I would warm it again. And I did enjoy it. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for Back in St. Olaf. Grapefruit, mangosteen, milkshake, and Bartlett pears. This is like a creamy, fruity milkshake. And it kind of is like what you'd expect. A slightly fruity, creamy, milky noted scent. Kind of reminds me of like sometimes like those really rich vanilla fruity body creams that kind of like just smell like you're putting vanilla and frosting on yourself with like a hint of fruit. I wasn't particularly wild about it, you know, but it was okay for me, and it did throw. So to give it credit there, it did throw. Next, we have Bride of Frankenstein. This is pistachio ice cream, key lime, and marshmallow cream. The key lime threw this off for me. It kind of gives me like that Mountain Dew sort of esque vibe in here. But that aside, it wasn't the strongest scent. It was probably like a medium soft. Yeah, it's that key lime note. It's interesting. It gives that sort of like surprise citrusy zesty note to an otherwise sweet sort of gourmandy scent kind of scent, creamy scent. Don't know that I would have done that. I think it works for what it is, like Bride of Frankenstein, but if I was going out of my way to combine scents, I don't know that I would have thrown key lime in with marshmallow and pistachio ice cream. But I give them credit, it's a different combo. All right, Stitch, their version of Stitch, I should say, is lavender, strawberry, and ginger ale. And I honestly am not a fan of this one. Nope, you do get mostly ginger ale. It's like a sweet ginger ale. It's almost like you get a hint of the sweetness of the strawberry, but it's ginger ale. And then there's like, the lavender brings like a musky note to it. Not a vibe. not for me, at least. I do like lavender scents. I'm not a fan of strawberry scents generally. Ginger ale would rather drink rather than necessarily smell, but you know, just for me, it was not a home run. It was all right. Let's move on. Here we have Grumpy Bear. This scent did not make me a grumpy bear, but it also didn't make me a happy bear either. Or a bear in general. But this is Blue Sugar, Spearmint, and Barbershop. So again, the Barbershop notes to me give you like that fresh, clean shave cream, that sort of like vibe. I have not found many Barbershop based fragrances that are strong. They tend to be like that clean kind of background scent, but they're not like, wham, I'm here and I'm gonna like smell up a room. I'm not a huge fan of spearmint scents in general. This has spearmint in it. I got a minty vibe. I wouldn't necessarily say it was overly spearmint, but... And then Blue Sugar, again, is more, I guess, a subtler sugar. I don't know. Overall, just kind of forgettable, honestly. That's okay. That's okay. I don't have to love every scent. And neither do you. You can love ones that I don't, and vice versa. All right, welcome to Schitt's Creek. Autumn Lodge, Cashmere, Cedar, and Marshmallow Fireside. Okay. This scent was great. This one performed really well. Lasted really long. This was a winner. This was like things I wanted. It was like woodsy, it was cozy, you had like a hint of the sweetness, you got a little bit of the smokiness to it. This was fantastic. I only wish I had a little bit more of it. But overall, very, very impressed with this particular one. And if this is what Schitt's Creek smells like, then I would go and live in that town just because it smells pretty bomb. Yeah. Next, we have the Rosebud Motel. Peppermint, rosemary mint, vanilla bean buttercream, and a splash of pink sugar. This is another one that was pretty solid overall. Yep. So this one, I didn't get as much as a rosemary note on the mint part. I did get the mint, though, peppermint. You do get the vanilla and maybe a little bit of pink sugar in there, but it's like the upgraded version of Scentsy's Vanilla Mint. If you felt Vanilla Mint was nice, but soft and mellow and not super minty and not super, like, heavy of a scent, this is a little bit... I won't say this is a heavy scent. This is more like a medium, or even medium soft, maybe. But it gives a little bit more peppermint, more mint note, but it still retains, like, the vanilla creaminess. Yeah. It was a nice scent. I wouldn't say that I'm like overly woo, but I'm also not like yeah. It was a good scent. All right, next we have Backwoods Barbie, which is pink petal tea cakes, vanilla woods, and Palo Santos. And I like this scent. I think it's the pink petal tea cakes that throws it off for me. Vanilla woods, not a problem. Palo Santo, not a problem. I think there was like a sweetness or like cakey or like whatever or floral note to this that just wasn't quite there for me. Like, it was okay, but it was not... Yeah, I think that's the pink petal tea cake note that just was throwing it off a little bit for me. It performed really well, though. Don't get me wrong. This lasted all day, no problems. Throw was great. Kind of a medium throw, but just wasn't quite my jam. So, you know, nothing against the scent other than it just wasn't particularly for me. And finally, also from Closet Full of Wax, we have Merci Beaucoup. I don't know why it's abbreviated. Anyways, sugared violets, sweet on Paris, pink, amber, vanilla. This scent, if I could pick one scent from Closet Full of Wax to have more of, it would be this one. This is probably like the best performer of all of the ones I tried. It smelled divine. Oh my goodness, I could not get enough of this. When I first warmed it, I was like, every time I put it in the warmers, I'd be like, what am I warming? This smells delicious. You know, you talk about when we're kind of getting used to warming wax and finding what scents you like, we find our favorites, right? And then those are ones that usually, like, the instant you put it in the warmer and you smell, you're like, yes, I love this. This was that one. Like, of all of these scents, if, like, across all of the ones in this video, this was the standout one. This was the one that I would like go to the store and avidly hunt down and try again. It is a sweet scent. You get like the pink amber, but it's like a rich sweetness. It's not like cloying sweetness. You do get the sugared violets. I don't know what sweet on Paris means, or what it's supposed to smell like. I should probably like look that up at some point. But this scent combo is what I wanted. It's sweet, but it's perfumey, but it's romantic. It kind of gives me like the springtime version or late spring version of Eskimo Kiss or Polar Bear Hug or whatever it's called now. So like it's not jammy, it's not like that sort of like more musky sort of scent. This is a little bit more perfumey and lighter, but it's that sort of rich, oh my goodness, romantic scent. I love this. And you do get vanilla, I will say. So if you don't like vanilla, like this may not be a scent for you. But it's combined like a vanilla amber. And oh, this is a winner. Winner chicken dinner. If I could only pick one from all of these in this video, that would be the one that I would be like, yes. So, hope you enjoyed this. I do have some other fragrance feedback to do for some retail wax that I got from Walmart and Target and whatnot that I will be doing as well. So stay tuned for that part 3. And I also have a couple other videos planned in the works on some other vendors and other goodies that I have found in the wax world, if you will. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've tried any of these brands, what you think about them, if you have any opinions one way or the other. And I can say that overall, I wasn't necessarily blown away by any of these particular scents or brands, but that could have been for a number of factors. And I always recommend like trying a brand at least a few times because you never know, you might get a bad batch, you might be surprised, you know, like the formulations might change over time, you never know, and something that may have not worked out as well in the past may change. So I always try to give benefit of the doubt where I can, because I get it, things happen. But overall, generally the scents were pleasing or interesting at the very least. The throw was a mixed bag, as you probably noticed, and I did have a couple standout scents there. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily like go running and screaming to get more from any of these vendors, but I also wouldn't necessarily rule them out. I would maybe just, when I want to try them again, I would definitely look into maybe trying some different scents and see if they perform better. So, anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. If you are new here, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.